I guess it's a beaver. There's quite a stench. Reminds me of the rat stench where I've spent some evenings that is infested with rats, and then I looked up and it said if there's a really bad smell, it's a sign of rats. But this is equally nasty. But I've never seen a beaver except like in the water on a movie, or I don't know if I've seen one in person swimming. But this is nasty. And it's like if the wrong person drives by and runs over that and it splats all over me like or something, that'd be so awful. Anyway, I think when you have a bus route, which means not that the bus takes you to your destination, it takes you somewhere near your destination, right? That there needs to be sidewalk, and there's not. And there's electrical hazards. I keep walking, you know, around crazy electrical looking stuff every day here in Richmond, where they don't give a fuck apparently, except being vampires. And anyway, there's a lot that will be changing as I am in power now. And the manifestation is happening Monday. Where I'm supposed to walk. Still walking to my bus stop. Thought I would take a picture of all the lovely attractions in Richmond, Virginia. This doesn't look very walkable to me, so I thought about crossing the street, but they're on the same. Starts a little sooner actually over there. So this doesn't seem walkable. And then you get into like, on the other side of the guardrail, you get into things that are like probably, you know, a lot of like standing water. Then you're getting into like private property. This is like a car dealership here. So I'm just looking at this thinking, this is ridiculous. This is where buses, like, you know, you should be able to walk to your bus stop. This is ridiculous. So this is like town center. It's like on the other side of town center. Or I shouldn't say it like that. This is coming from the north side of town center. North town center. It's a little scary. What should I do? A lot of people want to kill me. Hey, look, I think I can travel on the other side. Because look at all these cars coming. So, I guess it's safer to travel on this side. This is worse than Emporia. My goodness. I didn't know you could get worse than Emporia, Virginia. It sure stinks over here. And like the cars just touch so close, I feel like I could touch them. Some of them are moving slightly over in their lane. This is ridiculous. There's some pretty flowers, honeysuckles, I believe. And look how deep and dark that. You can't hardly tell how it really gets deep. So there's no way I could do that. But I can do this, I suppose. It's ridiculous. There's another person, he's deciding to walk in the rain. out how steep this is, but like that is like, you know, if I was walking with like one of these people from the secret society all these people who hate me because they're jealous, because they have no spirit of their own. Anyway, Queen Anne's lace. Anyway, this is, I feel like it really, I mean, it really gets, this is crazy. Can you imagine in the evening needing to walk to this bus stop? And the reason I am walking right now is because the same creepy guy, I mean, there's lots of creepy guys.
Midlothian and Giant.
Guys that keep stalking me, but there's just one creepy guy that
Midlothian and Giant.
really, like, you know, I would say my arm hairs stand on edge, but they really don't. It's just like, I'm like grossed out by him. Like, I just can tell he's like that bad. I mean, I think a lot of them are, but this guy in particular is like, I need to get off the bus. I'm not supposed to be on the bus with him. So I didn't realize he was on the bus until I got on and sat down, and then I were on my way looking, but it was like you know, I couldn't get back off. The bus had already moved some, and once it moves away from the bus stop, you can't just like say, never mind, let me get off. So I waited till the next stop. So I'm having to walk because of that. I'm walking. But the thing is I might be walking from one bus stop to the next, or a couple over, but people live or work in these areas, and so like my point is still very valid. We should be able to have somewhere safe to walk, and electrical cables, even if they do occasionally have caution tape with them, which is just hilarious because it's not like you're changing it. They're just at least put a caution tape. There was also a hole I could have definitely tripped in. I wouldn't have been able to fit into it, but it's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And then the trash, and like, it's like Richmond says, probably plenty other places too, but it's like Richmond says, you know, if you don't own a car, like, you're worthless. You know, there's no rain covering at most bus stops. It's like far and few between. And actually, I am trying to go to one that has a covering and a seat, because there's like not enough with any bench or anything. And I'm tired. So I thought I finally would start taking some pictures of just the ridiculousness of this. Like, you know, these bureaucrats take these big ass checks and they live. Don't even get me started, because really these people are vampires. If you hold a position, even a manager at Kroger, like, you're a vampire. And that's just the sad reality. But, like, there should be benches. There should be a sidewalk. If the bus goes out here, there should be a sidewalk. This is ridiculous. Electrical cables, too long and too much, or too short and like not fastened correctly to like the, you know, the wood fixture or whatever it is that they're, the pole. You know, like this. Look at this hole. This hole is pretty good size. Like, here's my foot. Okay, here's my foot. Yeah. And, you know, this is right here. Here's the road. Ooh. Okay, hold on. So there's the hole by my shadow. And then here's the road. So I'm not walking right up against the road for safety. Trying to be safe. And this is ridiculous. It really is. And at one point I wanted to cross the street because I would really rather face the traffic, but it's awful hard to cross the street around here. Especially, I would say, like, in these places where I'm actually walking right now. Like, this is, I was thinking it was Town Center. Is it Town Center? No, this is Sturbridge, I believe. It's not Town Center. I think, oh yeah, Town Center is where I had got on the bus. out of town center. This is heading towards Sturbridge. It doesn't matter because wherever I walk, especially in Midlothian, like electrical and problems, like extra, like excess, unsafe, is definitely still a factor. And I've been like kind of like not bothering to take my camera out and take a picture, my phone out and take a picture, but I set it out there today. And you know, I want to take a picture of the beaver this morning that was like belly side up with its stench, and it was right on the curve of the road. Maybe it fell in a hole. No, just kidding. But anyway, I was glad to see it was removed later, so I was looking for it to avoid it, and it had been removed. So the city did something right. Imagine that, Richmond, Virginia. But this electrical issue and lack of benches, lack of, you know, when it's pouring, oh my gosh. Like I have a good raincoat, thankfully. Like actual raincoat, like Paddington Bear kind of slick. Like the kind we had as a child. I didn't even know they made them anymore. And when I found one, I was like, oh my god, I'm buying this because, you know, when it pours and there's no covering at the bus stops, like it's absolutely ridiculous and dangerous. Crossing on the side street is dangerous. I'm like definitely trying to make sure I do it carefully. And then look, there'll be like this little sidewalk, which is because Royal Farms is here and they do farm. They farm as royals, you know. Everything tells you some truth in its name. Therapy Park. Royal Farms Therapy Park. See, the ones that are called Royal, they farm humanity, and that's their therapy. Having a gas station is not necessarily being open up to me. But I do know that there's a lot of trafficking going on, using different businesses and trucks as their cover. Like, you know, they've got to haul this or haul that. Like, one of the Mennonites, you know, that owns his own tractor trailer, and it was revealed to me, like, what he's transporting these bodies, whether they're alive or whether they're dead. Probably some of both, is the vision I have. Yeah, here's the covered bus stop. Not that I'm worried about rain right this second for the last 4 days. Oh look, I'm missing the bus. This is the way it goes. That's okay. Because that means that handler who was waiting for me, he had to get on. And this happened earlier too. I'm telling you. Things that seem like accidents, look out for my protection. And I'm very aware of it. Oh, here's some more electrical bullshit. I mean, my goodness, it's like my 3-year-old did it, right? I don't have a 3-year-old right now. I have my youngest is 6. So it's like my 3-year-old did this. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, I at least get to go sit down for a little while by my damn self until they send some crazy old motherfucker over who thinks he's gonna actually do something to me. Yeah, there's plenty of litter, but I will say, this kind here with the cover and the bench, they usually have a trash can somewhere near the vicinity. But when it doesn't, have the awning the glass, which does still let rain in because it's not all the way at the top. It doesn't go all the way, but anyway, it's something more better than nothing. So anyway, a lack of trash cans, what does that tell people? I mean, it's like, it's funny, even at my storage place, they want you to not use their, like, facility. So people obviously are moving, and they have boxes, and it will make sense that they should be able to throw their box or their stuff that they need to away. Not in excess. I can understand, like, please don't dump your furniture here that you don't want or whatever, but within reason, they should be able to have access to it. And that's not the city of Richmond, so let me not get off topic too much. But my point is, when you don't have trash cans, don't expect people to like hold on to their trash for especially if they're a pedestrian, don't expect them to hold on to their trash for a couple miles. And then where are they going to throw it away at? Because if it's a gas station, excuse me, or fast food or whatever, it's like, unless you're purchasing something, they're not going to want you to use their trash can. But it's ridiculous. Like, there should be a trash can. Yeah, excuse me. Wow. I think it's the sun. I'm not allergic to the sun, but it's like the sun with this glass. Anyway, it's ridiculous. And the electrical, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. That's dangerous. Live wires, I don't care what the coding is. Children could hypothetically be walking by, hopefully not without a parent. These roads are dangerous. But yeah, like I said, the sidewalk over there. The sidewalk is only around where as you're seeing, there's the sidewalk. Same thing with bike ramps. They just disappear. Well, it seems I'm not getting very far today on the bus. There are certain people, I know there's a lot more stalkers than the ick, but the ick ones in particular, I'm getting off the bus no matter what. And there's this lady, she recently dyed her hair red. She just got a really yucky spirit. And I mean, she's not it doesn't matter how attractive she is, but she's got a really ugly spirit. And she tried to act like we were friends. She's like, oh, look, we're getting off at the same spot again. And I'm thinking to myself, this is like a week or two ago. And I'm like, well, I hadn't noticed. She's like, yeah, this morning. And I'm like, to me, all that was her telling on herself, like, you're stalking me. It's very obvious. But my feelers, no. Which is probably less often for a woman than like some nasty old man. But even the good looking men, it doesn't really matter. I know what their good looks come from now. They're not like me. They're not pure. And looks aren't everything, but the creep vibe is high with certain people. And I'm like, So I guess I'll be walking. Or shall I wait for another hour? And I've taken some pictures. I've taken some very short videos of some of these people. I haven't gotten one of this lady yet, but I will if she keeps following me. Because in the end, they will be prosecuted if they don't already end up dead for judgment in the spirit. That guy just came to the bus stop. He's a hitman. I could feel it. I got up and walked away, which to him probably looked like I was leaving the bus stop. But instead, I actually had free tangerine or mandarin orange peels in my hand, and I had been wanting to get up and throw it away for a while. When I turned back, he had walked off. Then he drove off.